Welcome to Spielberg in Austria for the Formula 2 action this weekend. It's a week on from the British Grand Prix at Silverstone, and we have two very exciting races coming up this weekend. Sit back and enjoy the action. Let's take a look at the Red Bull Ring in Spielberg, Austria. 2.683 mile circuit, 10 corners as well. Many drivers say this is like a kart track. It's short track racing for F1, always providing a thriller race. Get a good exit out of the last corner, open up the DRS and hurtle down towards turn number 1. You're in 8th gear, flat out, drop the gear to around about 5th gear, flick the car in towards the right, get on the power mid-exit as well, open up your DRS for the first time on this lap, hurtle uphill towards the little kink in the hill, that's turn 2, and then brake hard for turn 3 at Remus, uphill, 3rd gear corner, tight right as well, it slips you out and sometimes controls the wheel spin again. Open up the DRS, now downhill once again towards turn 4 at Sochles Gold. It's a heavy braking opportunity down 4th gear, have to drop into 3rd occasionally if the rear of the car won't stop. Round turn number 5 as well, this is into Pirelli, flinging into turn 7 and 8, coming through as well, back on the accelerator, use as much exit curve as well, late dart into the Vutsch curve at turn 7, round up the hill at turn 8, 9 and 10 next up as well, 8th gear over the crest as well, drop it down 2 gears into the Rindt corner at turn 9, into the Red Bull Mobile, which is the last corner as well, back on the accelerator up towards turn 1 at Lauda, and that is a lap of the Red Bull Ring here in Spielberg, a flat out track.
has brought out the red flag. Jake Hughes is the fastest driver. Here we go, car number 3, Doohan to the front of the field. At least he was, because Vesti has now found a fast lap. That is lap time deleted for Jack Doohan. It's Frederick Vesti who takes pole position. Lights out, we're racing in Austria. Will they all make it through turn number 1? That's Logan Sargent off the road. What is the Rasta doing? Jembo Bassi finding the gravel. This is Teo Pourchaire. Just such fine margins.
Oh my God.
For the second time this season, Marcus Armstrong will win in Formula 2.
Extraordinary job by the team. The car was mega.
Marcus Armstrong takes the sprint in Styria.
It's wet, but it is drying out, is the best news we could possibly give you. Welcome to Formula 2 and the feature race for round 8 of the season in Spielberg, Austria. The Red Bull Ring has been known as many different names. It started life as the Österreich Ring, then as the A1 Ring, and now the Red Bull Ring. It's 2.683 miles long as well, 3 DRS zones on the run up to turn 3, the run down to turn 4, and the run up towards turn number 1. 63.5 metre elevation change up towards turn 3, where last year, in 2020 as well, we saw Lundgaard versus Tincton in an amazing battle around the track. Down at turn 4, in Sochles Gold, Zhou going right round the outside of Mick Schumacher in the feature race as well was a daredevil move. Schumacher tried to fight back, Zhou shut the door on him. And all the way as well, down at turn 6 at the Ranch corner, Ilott versus Zhou. Ilott on the inside, Zhou on the outside. Zhou shutting the door as well in the dams back then. And it is clear skies, the track is drying out. They are going to start on dry tyres, believe it or not. It's going to be a standing start, not like the rolling start we had this morning in Formula 3, but some of them actually starting on wet tyres. That's brilliant news. A few of them have out there, I believe, taken the gamble to start on dry tyres. Pole sitter Frederick Vesti, however, is starting on full wets, which seems a gamble in these conditions. It looks quite dry. They've obviously felt that that is their best situation. How long till is the kickoff? You've got about 2 minutes until the parade lap starts as well. Let's take a look at how they line up then on the starting grid for this race here today. And time. We'll look at the full screen. Frederick Vesti starts on pole position. Alongside him on the front row is Yuri Vips. Row 2 sees Logan Sargent alongside Mamoru Wasso as well. The third row of the grid in 5th and 6th, Felipe Dragovic alongside Jack Doohan. Row 4, the 7th and 8th on the grid as well. We see Emile Cordial alongside Richard Verschoor. The 5th row of the grid in 9th and 10th, Theo Poitier is alongside Marcus Armstrong. 11th and 12th, Johan Jaruvela starts on row 6 of the grid alongside Enzo Fittipaldi. Row 7 sees Cem Bolak-Bassi alongside Liam Lawson, 13th and 14th on the grid. Row 8, 15th and 16th, Dennis Hauger alongside Callum Williams. And row 9, again, 17th and 18th on the grid, Roy Nazani alongside Marino Sato. The 10th row of the grid, Jake Hughes alongside Clement Novalak. And the 11th row of the grid, Roberto Meri, making his return to Formula 2 at 31 years old, sitting in for the injured Ralph Boschung alongside Ollie Caldwell. Alongside me in the commentary box once again is Synthol. Good morning to you, Synthol. The track is a bit sunnier. Track temperature 31.6 degrees. It's risen 13.5 degrees in the time between Formula 3 and Formula 2. Some are starting on dries, some are starting on wets. What are you going to predict in this opening race of the for Formula 2's day? Oh, well, he was there, but he's disappeared. Hello, Synthol, can you hear me? Hi, Synth, can you hear me? Is this now for the formation lap?
I can hear you.
Sorry, don't know why the call ended. I left it open. As I was saying, some drivers starting on dry tyres, some starting on wets as well. The track looks a little bit drier. Is this a gamble, or are those starting on the wets made a horrible mistake? Because look at the steam coming off the track up to turn 3.
There's definitely some spray here, that's for sure. But we saw in F3 race it is mostly wet here, but in other parts of the track, for example the main straight, it's pretty much dry there.
Let's hear for the top 3.
So we need to pay close attention. The strategy, I think, in the end of the day, it's going to be reacting to what the others do around us and just making sure we're in the fight for the race win.
I just try to do my best, not panic, whatever happens, do a clean race, and then the result will hopefully come. But yeah, the weather is looking quite mixed up, and it might not be very straightforward. But yeah, the focus is just on doing the job.
Strategy in F2 is always key, and to box at the right time, choose the right set of tires to start or finish on, and also the team doing a good job in the pit stop. That's very important, and you need to get all of these things right to win in Formula 2.
There's how they stand then on the grid, and I definitely think that those on the wet tyres are going to be boxing incredibly early. The track's bone dry.
Yeah, but well, at some parts it's pretty wet. We saw the spray on the straights towards turn 4 or towards turn 3. It's pretty wet there, so surely the wet tires will have an advantage there still in the opening parts of the lap, but at the other part the dry will be faster, so it's got to be tricky for the dry tires for them at those sections. They just need to keep it on track, but then I think they'll have a better strategy when they make the pit stops.
So it is 40 laps ahead of us for this race. We will then be taking into consideration as well the 60-minute rule, which would be the race can last no more than an hour plus 1 lap. Although in these conditions we should be getting through 40 minutes or so of racing. The cars lining up, Enzo Fittipaldi taking 12th position as well. Cem Bolak-Bassi alongside him. It looks like we're going to have our first standing start of the day. Back of the grid, Roberto Meri and Ollie Caldwell as well. Green lights are flying now at the back. Here we go. All 5 lights are on. Lights out, race on. Poor getaway from Frederick Vesti. Great getaway from Yuri Vips. Up towards turn 1 as well. Those on the dry tyres have made an okay start. Into the first corner we go. Into the braking zone. Little bit of a lock-up further back. We've had double lock-ups. There's a yellow in sector 1. And I think we've had a stall on the start. Here's where it gets wet. And those on the wet tyres will start to have the advantage. Yuri Vips trying to go through. He leads the race in the moment. Vestry is into second position. Awasa trying to take second as well. It's all changed in the front, Synth.
Yeah, turn 3 is going to be very difficult for the ones on the dry tires. Are they all going to make it through? It's still the yellow flag in sector 1, so someone must have stalled it there. I don't think it was before turn 1, so someone has probably stalled it. So let's see if there will be
Sato.
green soon. Oh, and look at them down the inside. Vesti tries to get back now for second. He does.
Vips leads, Vesti to second, Awasa now down to third position. Jack Doohan has made his way up to fourth. Marino Sato is in the pit lane. Yellow flags out sector 1 and 2. If there is a staller on the grid or somebody else has gone round, they'll have to throw the safety car quite quickly. Right now it's just a local yellow, so we'll keep an eye out whether or not they do have to throw the safety car. Sato's left the pit lane, so it's yellow flag sector 2 only. So Sato stalled in the grid, he's got it going. Doohan looking to the inside to get ahead of the number 6 as well of Logan Sargent, and Sargent shuts the door, gets ahead of Doohan.
What a move round the outside of turn 9. That's not what you see that often. Yellow flag sector 1 and 2 now again. Not sure what happened. Someone maybe is slow on the grid or something. I'm not sure why the yellow flag is in both sectors. Outside line here is not going to work. These guys are all on the wet tires, so it seems like I'm not sure where the dry tires are.
I'm not sure where the yellows are as well. Dry tyres have fallen further back as
Here
well,
they are.
actually. And Armstrong is out of the race. Marcus
Here's the yellow.
Armstrong, Marcus Armstrong has stopped on the track. So that is why we've got the yellows. It's up at turn 3. So there, Marcus Armstrong stopped. Now, why isn't that a safety car? We're going to have to bring a digger onto the track. Where is the safety car? Marcus Armstrong has stopped. He was on the dry tyres at the top of the hill. So Sato is out of the Armstrong's out of the race. Sato is going slow as well. That explains the yellow, but no virtual or full safety car. Doohan's under pressure now. He's on the dry. He's on the wet. Is Doohan on the dries? I think Doohan is on the
wet.
dries. Is that that is Sargent?
Doohan's on the wets.
Safety car. Well, it's nullified that now. Safety car has been deployed. Because Marcus Armstrong is in a very dangerous position. That was a long call before that came out.
Strategy.
Yeah,
That's how
took a bit too long.
Yeah, a bit too long again for that safety car. And now, if I was the race leaders and if I wasn't happy with my wet tyres, I'd box. There is Doohan. I think Doohan is on wet tyres, you're correct. So he hasn't changed over. I thought he might have changed over.
You can't see anywhere the dry guys, people on the dry tires. You can't see them anywhere. Is he on a dry tire?
I can't.
He is. So he's on the wet.
Who's out to the pit lane? That is Cordial coming in. And
But
he's
we
going to go to
couldn't see
dries.
anyone on the dry tire, so they must have lost a lot of time.
Yeah, they've all dropped back as well. We're trying to look at the starting grid procedure, but safety car's out. Cordial comes in, then he's going to change over to ultra soft tyres. Because this race started in full wet conditions, we don't have to have the mandatory pit stop in this race anymore. So you're free to go onto whatever tyre you choose, and that mandatory pit stop now gets nullified. As
look
there's
at
someone with
that.
a broken wing. Is that Bollock Bassey?
Yeah, why has he kept it going then? He's after the... He's...
What is going on? Yeah, I don't think he knows. But he must do. Bollock Bassey with a broken front wing is continuing on, and this is how he did it. Race start, Synth.
Yeah, he missed the pit lane. Not sure why. It's going to be Vesti got a horrendous start there. He dropped down to P3 here. He later on managed to get that P2 back away from him again. Let's see what happened in the back there. I think there's some lockups there. What happened to Armstrong then? And everybody making it through.
Armstrong
Looks like going right.
Yeah, Armstrong just... Oh, there's contact.
That's Bollock Bassey.
But that's
He
what
already got damage here, so why is he not boxed?
Safety car, pit lane, it's open, so I'm not sure he hasn't. I'm on with a Wasser. Whoa, look at that defence from Frederick Vesti as well. That was almost right to the path of a Wasser. And a Wasser with a big slide as well to kick him off to boot as well. So safety car is out. Here's the run up at turn 3. Is this what happened to Armstrong? There's Armstrong.
Oh, there he's gone.
Oh, is he going
And
to
has
get
he
some...
got...
Oh, he
Oh,
got tagged.
what?
So,
They're both off the track and they made contact there.
and the car just died immediately as well. Probably hit part of the battery kill cell. And that was...
Fittipaldi,
can't say
can see him.
That's Fittipaldi, so that's...
Lost
so,
him, I think it is.
Druvilla hit, there's the number 2.
Oh.
Druvilla hit him. And that is Bollock Bassey with front wing damage and side damage as well. And and he's gushing oil at the top of the hill. Well, where's the black and white flag? And what's this now then?
Coming over the line.
Vesti?
Vesti.
Can you report that he left the track limit down the main straight to cool his
Oh, he did.
tires? He was out of the track.
Maybe he's a bit on the white line. You're
Yeah.
over the white line, of course, it's track limits, but
But Vips right then. It's all kicking
Yeah.
off in Formula 2, isn't it? What a fantastic start. 4:40. There is so much going on.
race control. Pollock Bassi, no, that's
cheers.
causing a collision.
And he's into the pit lane now anyway to change his front wing, so the team
Oh.
have finally seen it.
I don't think that's Pollock Bassi's fault. I think who was on the outside of him? I think it was one of the Red Bull
he hit
liveries. Who,
Lawson. He hit Lawson. Lawson.
yeah,
shot that,
Lawson.
Yeah.
Was it Lawson who got out of shape and hit Pollock Bassi? I think
Yes.
Pollock Bassi couldn't really do anything about that.
Yeah, Bolabasi couldn't do anything about it. He was on the outside and got collected. So that's what happened there. We're just trying to look at. Well, actually, I'm reading the commentary tab that you're seeing on your screen to try and get any more information.
Ending, safety car in this lap.
Okay, safe to go in this lap. So great reaction time for Vips, who flies into the lead to turn 1. Vesti gets bogged down and swallowed up by Awasa, who moves into P2, but Vesti got back ahead. Bollock Bassi will be investigated after the race for causing a collision. The safety cars coming in this lap. Well, half the field are still on wet tyres. Only a few of them are on dry tyres. The track temperature is now 21.9 degrees, so it's dropped from what was 31 at the start of this. So here we go again then, everybody. Lock yourselves down. The race is back on.
Yeah, I'm surprised I didn't say Lawson with Bollock Bassi under investigation after the race, but here he goes. He's gone already.
Let's see, it was something else that they're investigating that we haven't seen. There was a lot happening on that start that we didn't see. Right, green flag, away we go once again. And look at this from Vesti. He is right on, but Vesti's gone wide off the track limits as well. So if Vips has done it, Vesti's done it as well. And they're all weaving to try and get some dampness into their tyres, but it's bone dry. It's sunshine, bone dry, and they're out there on wet tyres. I don't think that was the right decision.
I think Vesti's on the dry tires, isn't he? It's a bit difficult to see, but it may have looked like he was on the dry tires. It's very difficult to see. You see Fittipaldi here as well.
Vesti's
going
on the
side by
wets.
side.
Yeah, Vesti's on the wet tyres for sure.
Oh, he's on the wet. Okay.
Yeah, as he comes in, gets a little bit wide. As up the inside, that's Pourchaire making the move on Doohan. Had to check. Pourchaire started this race down in 10th position. He's already up into 5th position. Great move there. Hughes has dropped down to 17th. Caldwell and Novalak move up 15th and 16th. Now Hughes passes Novalak as well. Top of the hill, turn 3. Right, that confirms to me that it's wet tyres for the top 4. Doohan, I'm not sure what tyres he's on. Lawson's up to 17th ahead of Novalak.
Yeah, I wonder who's now the highest classified of the dry runners.
We need to
We
see.
can take a look at that.
We need to see. We need a tyre tracker at the top there. As
Yeah.
Drugovic has dropped off with Callum Williams as well. They've dropped to 8th and 9th. And now 11th, as Drugovic drops down to 11th. Fittipaldi and Williams goes through. And Williams and Drugovic changing over positions again. Drugovic down to 13th position. Nazani down to 15th. Caldwell up into 14th position as well. And those are the dry tyres, I think, are struggling through the wetter part of the
Doohan.
tracks.
Doohan's struggling as well. He's been passed by Fischer and Deruvela right now. I
Drugovic-
suppose he's on the dry tires.
Drugovic is down to 17th position, the championship leader, in a lot of problems right now. I think he's on dry tyres, you know.
He's actually on the wets.
Oh, he's on the wets. So what's happened there? Is he being passed by the dry runners? I'm not sure. Here, that's Doohan under pressure as well. So Doohan's dropping back. I'm convinced Doohan must be on the dry tyres to be dropping this far back. I can't see anything yet. There's dry tyres confirmed then for number 14 as
And
well.
Doohan's on the wets.
Caldwell. So Doohan's on the wets.
Yeah, it's so confusing. Or is he being passed by everyone on the dry tires? Boucher here on the inside now, looking as well. And Doohan and Hauger now going side by side, but Hauger is in the wets as well. This is so confusing.
Dry tyres for Roy Nazani, so that's there as well. Vesti and Pourchaire. Pourchaire's dropped to 6th position. Vesti's up into 5th. 3 abreast coming back now as well. As that, I believe, would be Johan Deruvela, and Deruvela's on dry tyres. Williams has dropped down to 17th position. Pourchaire's dropped to 7th, and those on the wet tyres are starting to lose out because that is definitely dry tyres as well for the 20 of Richard Verschoor. And look at this, yeah, those are the dry tyres, and Our Hazard, they're dropping back. Wets aren't working.
Wow. And Fittipaldi on the inside as well. So it's for sure, I think, is the leader of the guys on the dry tire. So he has a really good chance of maybe getting into the lead of this race as well.
Yeah, and dropping further back now as well is Awasa, and he was on dry. So those on the dry tyres are now starting to come forward as soon as they get temperature into their tyres. Now they've been allowed to do a couple of laps. They are really moving up the field. Those on the wet tyres are beginning to slip back. So wets were the wrong call, dries were the correct one. And look at that, that's Johan Jaruvla. Oh, he's going to have to save it from Portier, who came in all slidey at the top of the hill. Jack Doohan's going wide as well. It's all kicking off in Formula 2 as the race lead changes, as Richard Verschoor takes the lead of the feature race away from Yuri Vips. Those on the dry tyres are coming through thick and fast, and we're going to have a big crash here unless they're not careful.
Oh, this is a brilliant race, and the Dutch fans will definitely be loving this, as Richard Verschoor is taking the lead of this race, and he's trying to pull away as well. They're on the inside now, or the outside. Jaruvla is taking second place as well, and it's contact. Fittipaldi.
Yeah, Fittipaldi getting contact with Vips as well. Roberto Merry is into third position. The 31-year-old who's raced in Formula 1 for Manor makes his return after 14 years away from Formula 2, and he is up into third position. Vips is down to 9th, Vesti down to 13th. Those on the wet tyres have got to pit. Verschoor leads, Jaruvla and Merry the top three. And into the pits they all come now. Look at the gap. The top 10 are those on dry tyres. Everybody else is on the wets, and they're all coming into the pits now.
This race is absolutely crazy. This is amazing. Look at Nordisani here. Oh, nearly in the back of, I think it's Cordeal who's nearly hit the back of. This is such a crazy race. Look at this. He's on the difficult C. I think he's on the dry tyres. I think everyone's now on the dry tyres. Everyone who was on the wets is now pitted as well. This is such an incredible race.
Sato stalled on the grid. Sato's 10th after stalling on the grid. Vips, Vesti, Awasa, and Vesti gets out ahead of Yuri Vips. Vesti's out the pit lane ahead of Vips. Vips is in big trouble in that pit lane, and that's why they haven't got the tyres ready for third Portier either. It's all changed to the front, and Portier, can he get out in time? Yes, he's gone to the medium tyres. Vips out into 12th position. Vesti is 13th. There's the MP Motorsport of Dragovic getting his tyres changed. Novalak in there as well. Everyone from Vips below is in the pit lane, as you can see on your monitor, and they've all put on the medium compound tyre. But those who started the race on the dries are nearly a lap ahead of them and are going to be hunting them down as well. It's all changed in Formula 2, as side by side now as well, we see again Liam Lawson making the move on Ollie Caldwell.
Yeah, it looks like Caldwell doesn't have any temperature in his tyres. This race is so incredible. There's so many battles going on still, as DRS is actually also enabled, of course. It's dry, so why not? As we see, this is the Unity Film Amphros racing car. Jake Hughes.
Go on, Synth.
Jake Hughes right behind Ollie Caldwell. He's got a great exit out turn 1. Caldwell looking really struggling because he's been overtaken by Liam Lawson as well. Side by side towards turn 3.
Yeah, here comes Jake Hughes. Can't get a run on Ollie Caldwell at this point. Race control, DRS enabled. We knew that. We saw it, as Synthel said. And now the top 10 in a fight as well. 39 seconds is the gap between Nizani, the last of the Ultrasoft runners, and Vesti, the first of the runners, and this is Yuri Vips, and why he was so long in the pit lane. Oh, it was a faulty tyre gun on the front right, on the front left wheel, and then it just didn't work. The manual release was needed on the jack, and then he stalled it. Oh, it was bad from Vips there.
Yeah, everything could go wrong, and the pit did go wrong from him. We've seen many cars maybe a bit too stressed in the pit stop because it all happened so quickly. They all noticed they made the wrong call. Sargent here now as well.
Sargent ran the outside of Awasha into turn 3 as well. Awasha might come back on the inside line. It does so. Sargent with a big oversteer moment as well. But I don't think it's worked out. Yeah, Awasha couldn't do it. Vips passes Callum Williams further back as well. It's all kicking off here in Austria as Williams is ahead now of Vips again. It's like two separate races.
We saw on board with Sargent, turn 3 is definitely going to be tricky still because of it's still a bit damp there, I suppose. As we see Yuri Vips trying to make his way back up, he's now behind Williams.
So these Ultrasoft tyres cannot go 40 laps. They've already done 10. They're going to have to pit around about lap 22 of this race. So we've still got 12 more laps of this double stint. But if a safety car comes out, everyone in the front top 11 gets a free pit stop. That's insane. But they wanted to stay green because they'll keep track advantage. Here's Cordeal trying to go around the outside of his teammate Jake Hughes, who's trying to attack Ollie Caldwell down to Socialist Gold at turn 4. Again, it's literally a race of two halves, two separate fields. fields are now racing with a gap of 42 seconds between them. Insane.
So many different battles going on here. This race is crazy. This only needs a safety car to get it back on the way to be everyone backed up again. But now it's indeed two different races. The people who started on the wets are far behind now, and the people who made a good choice to start on the soft or on the dry tires, they are now up front.
When we came on here as well, I thought it was a bit much that everyone was starting on the wets. And I'm glad that half the field decided to start on the dry tyres. Richard Verschoor, a 1:19.276 as well. It's the fastest lap of the race so far. And this is turning into an exciting race as Vips passes Williams. So Euro Vips trying to get back in as well. Here comes the battle though. We're all watching as race control. Vips noted for an unsafe release. Oh, is that Dragovic? Or Novalak?
He's been lapped, of course. Blue flag.
And at the inside, sorry, it's Mary's into second. Druvela's down into third position. Roberto Mary takes second position as Druvela went wide down at turn 3. And Roberto Mary is into second position. He's fighting back. That's what I've missed about Roberto Mary racing in the Formula Series.
Is Novalak slowing or is he letting everyone through because of the blue flags?
Yeah, Novalak's been lapped. He was already 30 seconds back anyway.
Oh. Side by side there as well. It looked like he was slowing, but it's okay. Wow. So Mary up to P2, 19 positions gained from him. What a race that is for him! Unbelievable.
I'm losing my words at the moment. Richard Verschoor does another fastest lap, a 1:19.197 at the start of the 12th lap of this race. Again, he's improving up the field as they continue to run. Verschoor, he's up 7 places. Mary up 19, Druvela up 8, Hauger up 11, Fittipaldi up 7, Lawson up 8, Caldwell up 15, Hughes up 11, Cordeal down 2, Sato up 8, Nizani up 6 as well. And then everyone from Vesti below is dropped positions from this start procedure as we've got a big train forming behind Roberto Meri. Vesti is 6.2 seconds ahead of this battle for second.
Wow, so I don't know what to say anymore. This race is so crazy. And yeah, as we see Druvela now trying to go around the outside of turn 4. That's not going to work. There are more battles behind as well. There's a lot of battles going on, but at 2 whole different positions on the track.
And Roberto Meri shut the door there as well to block off Druvela as they come back through. But this is impressive from Roberto Meri, who is 31 years old. He's the oldest guy in this field compared to the youngsters. He's racing in place of Ralph Boschung, who was injured before. It's the first time a name from a previous generation has come back into Formula 2, especially as Roberto Meri has raced in Formula 1. As into the pit lane, that, I believe, would be Druvela. Yes, it is Druvela, coming in to change over to the, presumably, hard compound tyres. The only one that would make it the distances. Now, Sargent under pressure from Vesti, who tries around the outside at turn 4. It's all go. It's so much action to keep an eye on here.
Yeah, so also Sato is in the pits as well. So obviously they can't make the full race distance on those tires, so they're trying to make a pit stop now.
Ah, yeah, Sato pits. Brief yellow, now we go back to green. As this is Logan Sargent making a move for 12th position ahead of Awasa. So this is what happened. Or is it passing Vesti? It's passing Vesti. Open. Yeah. Oh, and up the inside, this is a battle now as we see Dennis Hauger and Johan Druvela battling out. Hauger takes
Lawson.
third. Sorry, is it Lawson and Hauger? It's Lawson and Hauger. As they come back through, it's the 5, not the 2. Oh, and they're going to hit. That's careful. Very careful there. Lawson puts a wheel on the gravel. Hauger goes to third.
Well defended from Dennis Hauger, but a bit close there as well for Liam Lawson. They nearly touch. Look at Fittipaldi battling the car on those a bit damp curbs there as well. He's right behind him. He's going to attack them if they make a mistake, or they're going to pit now. He's pitting.
Yeah, it must be. Yeah, they're all out. They're all coming in. Mary's pitting as well. Into the pits. Hauger 2 and Fittipaldi and Hughes. So Cordeal takes 4th position. Verschoor leads. Lawson 2nd. Caldwell 3rd. Cordeal 5th. Meri in the pits as well as Hauger, Fittipaldi, Hughes and Nizani. They're making green flag pit stops early. They're putting on the medium compound tyres and they're going to have the advantage over the rest of the field with fresher tyres. Those who started on the wets are not working as the rear tyre was a bit too long there as well. Unfortunately for Dennis Hauger.
Yeah, bad news for him. No, that's is that how? It's crazy. All right, so now he is. Let's see, everybody pitting now. I wonder when for sure is gonna pit. I suppose this lap maybe. Pips, no further investigation for
Hit the
unsafe
wall!
release.
Hit the wall!
Start now.
He hit the wall! He hit the wall coming out of the pit lane! Enzo Fittipaldi hit the wall coming out of the pit lane, but he's kept going. Nazani's still in the pits, and now those on the dry tyres, on the mediums have just stopped, are changing over. Sargent to 10th, Vesti 11th, Nazani's rejoining 12th. That's restarted the battle, because now... the Nazani's actually rejoined Sato too, but everyone's just stopped, got a green flag pit stop. Further back, Drew, Dragovic and Portier are battling with Sato coming out of the pit lane, and Dragovic wins out.
Let's see a replay. This is what happened to Sato and Sargent. Locks up. Oh, gonna go to the
Sato,
gravel. Yeah.
through the gravel. That's why he pitted. Lawson pits, Cordell pits as well.
Lawson stays out.
Say again?
For sure stays out.
Yeah,
He does.
Michelle stays out. Lawson pits. Caldwell pits. Cordeal, I believe, has also stayed out. Yes, he takes second position over this field as well. I like that as well. F2 at the moment is literally Elmo in hell, it looks like on the tweet deck there. It's like it as well. Sargent looks at the inside line, going into the wing curve. That was not working there. Sargent would have had a big accident if he didn't pull out. That's against Dennis Hauger. Stewards have said incident involving Hauger will be investigated after the race. A pit stop infringement. Wow.
Not sure what happened there. Anyways, so obviously for track position, the overcut would work because it's going to be very difficult in that first lap after the pit stop to warm up the tires. Here we can see Sargent right behind the Red Bull livery of Dennis Hauger.
Pulling to the outside line. Can he get the move done this time? Sargent's got the outside line and does it beautifully. And pulling back in was Hauger, who actually locks up and nearly runs into the back of him at the top of the hill.
Yeah, nearly locks up turn 3. So maybe a little bit wet there because that was the wettest part of the track at the start of the race for sure. And it's up front now, Fittipaldi, very close to the down the inside. Whew.
Fittipaldi trying to pass Ollie Caldwell at turn 4 was along the inside. Fittipaldi got the exit though. Poor exit again from Caldwell. And I think he might lose the position as well to Logan Sargent, but he just loses it to Fittipaldi at the moment, but goes wide. Sargent has the inside line. Sargent goes through the Vosges curve. Sargent
No
to 7th.
temperature.
Pit stop.
Yeah, he's really struggling.
Verschoor has 20 seconds to Cordeal. Verschoor has made his pit stop and he's come back out in the lead of the race. And he did not lose a second there.
This is incredible. This race is so incredible. Look at this. Dennis Hauger now behind Ollie Caldwell. Obviously, Verschoor doesn't have very much temperature in tires, so the Rouvelo will be quicker in these first laps as well.
So Verschoor has now pitted 4 abreast, and it's exactly the same cars. Hauger on the inside as well, trying to pass the 14 of Ollie Caldwell. Awasa coming back as well to attack Frederick Vesti. So Hauger to 7th, Caldwell to 8th. Awasa takes Vesti as well. Mary passes Lawson. Cordeal in the pits, dropping down everywhere. Awasa has the inside line, shuts the door on him, and now Vesti tries to pass Cordeal around the outside, and coming out goes off the track, and that's going to have to get the position back. DRS will be open for both of them as well. And through goes Awasa, who shuts the door. Vesti shuts the door, passing Caldwell. Awasa sends it round the outside line as well. Caldwell still got the inside line, and Awasa can't get through. Tries to cut back, as again going deep was Caldwell. Round the outside, Sargent is passing Fittipaldi round the outside of the Vosges curve. Brilliant move. What a race.
This is such an incredible race. The battles behind here are absolutely beautiful to watch as well. Dennis Hauger is the leader of that little train going on there. Those battles going on.
Radio Vesti.
You forced me on the track. You forced me right up. Please report.
Vesti saying that he passed him off the track. Please return the position. So how? I don't think he did though. Looks okay to me with that overtake. Doohan's down up to 16th. He's passed Callum Williams.
Yeah, many battles though. DRS of course making it a lot more. Making a lot more battles going on here as well. We see some incredible trains going on here. The gap is 3.6 from Verschoor to the Rouvelo, so that's quite a big gap still. As down the inside.
He's going to make it. There's contact. Yep, Sargent bangs with the wheels of Liam Lawson, and Lawson's got off the track. He's been passed by Sargent and Fittipaldi, so Lawson down to 6th position, and Sargent might get a little bit of a tick off there, as well as further back. There's a move going on as well. I can't tell who it is just yet. Hughes versus Caldwell, and Hughes goes through to 10th. And Vesti and Caldwell noted leaving the track and gaining advantage. It's been noted by the stewards, and that's for Caldwell going off the track.
Yeah, that was turn 3, I think it was. Oh my, this is Richard for sure. He is unexpectedly leading this race. Started from P8 on the grid and he's now in P1.
And he has pitted, so he did the overcut, stayed out 3 laps longer on the ultra soft tyres, got the gap up to 36 seconds, came into the pit lane, he's put on the medium compound tyres, he's warmed them up over the last 2-3 laps or so, and he's still got a 2.9 second gap to Johan Jaruvela. Perfect race for Verschoor, and perfect strategy as well from Trident.
Yeah, I think Jaruvela might be trying to close that gap up. I'm sure he'll try to anyways, as we see some battles here. This is what happened between Hauger, between Vesti and Caldwell. There he goes off the track, and he gets ahead of him.
I think that's Vesti and Vips who can do it. Let's hit replay from Sargent. Turn down on him. What do you make of that, 10th?
Let's see.
What the f*** was that dude? Then he just literally drove on the side of me.
Lawson, again, saying that he drove into the side of him. I think that was 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. Both.
Yeah.
Under investigation, Vesti and Caldwell as well. Yeah, not Cordell, Caldwell, who is down in 11th place now. Regroup, lap 18 of 40, approaching half distance, 33 minutes to go, and it is just all-out chaos in Formula 2. Perfect feature race.
I think he's going to get a penalty for that, for leaving the track and gaining an advantage, because he cleared it. Round the outside of turn 3, overtook him there. Fastest lap again now for Richard Verschoor. He's not giving up, and he's doing a very good job ahead of the orange fans, who's going to be cheering for him this race, I suppose, as well.
1:17.751 as well. So Richard Verschoor with initials VER. I wonder if the fans think it's Verstappen out there instead. I tell you what, Richard Verschoor's giving a Verstappen performance today, doing absolutely brilliantly. 2.9 seconds ahead of Johan Jaruvela as well. Roberto Merri is on for a podium as well on his return weekend to Formula 2. Radio is coming from Verschoor.
Come on, mate, go and win this one.
Go ahead and win this one. That's perfect. Look at that. More rain on the horizon as well. Starting to blow into the track. The way it's blowing, it would come back this way. So it's not over yet. We've got a dry F2, but it could be a wet F1 later. This is a perfect day in Spielberg.
Could be. If it's right, it says it could be a dry to wet to dry race, but that would be absolutely perfect. But we'll see about that. It's not sure what the conditions will bring for the if it will rain or not.
I'd take a wet to dry perfectly. Oh, Vesti! Frederick Vesti, a 5-second time penalty. So that's going to drop him. Didn't he have one yesterday as well?
Wasn't it for track limits yesterday?
He got 10. He got 2 of them, didn't he? It was 10 seconds. So this is leaving the track and getting an advantage. So Frederick Vesti with a penalty, and this is why on his onboard camera. We
saw it here going off the track here, and side by side with Caldwell. He just, he got pushed off a little bit, but then he got out of ahead of Caldwell. He should have given that place back, and that's why he got the 5-second time penalty.
It was 4 into 1, not going, and it was very much a big of a mess as they tried to keep back up, but a perfect little battle brewing. So it's only Clem Bolibassi and Marcus Armstrong, the 2 retirements already. Armstrong retired lap 1, Bolibassi retired lap 4, and that brought out yellows and safety cars. Jaruvela is in there as well. And as things currently stand, we're halfway there with 30 minutes and 45 seconds to go in this race. So half distance was half an hour long.
31-second gap between someone a little while ago.
Yes, between P11 and P12, and it was Nizani to Vesti, who had had a 42-second gap. You're right. And now it's closed right back down with the pit stops, because those top 11 had a free pit stop under green flag conditions. And look at the gaps from Fittipaldi, from Sargent Fittipaldi all the way down. They're always at least a second in with each other.
Yeah, Verschoor and Jaruvela now swapping a little bit with the fastest lap, and now it's gone back to Verschoor. As we see, this is the battle for P4 on the grid. Fittipaldi doing a very good job as well, trying to make his way up the grid as well.
117.428 for Richard Verschoor as well, closing in the battle, closing in the advantage as they come in as well. I think I'll have a strepsil between the races as well, because F1 looks to be absolutely chaotic. As we're on board now with the 22 Cheroux Racing of Enzo Fittipaldi as he heads down towards the Sochless Gold turn 4, trying to pass Logan Sargent, the American, who's in P4.
Yeah, he's doing a very good job. This is an amazing battle as well.
This is brilliant. Get it on. Lap counter still on lap 21. So we are going to make the distance if we continue to get faster. One more safety car might just push us over the limit for time in this race, but who cares? This is a great one. If we go an hour, we go an hour. It's plus 1 lap anyway, so we might just make it. Formula 2 have had a habit of hitting that hour limit in the feature races the past couple of weeks. Did it in Monaco, and I've done it last time out at Silverstone as well, as they continue to come through. Austria delivers. If anybody thought last weekend's British Grand Prix was fantastic, you wait until we see today's Austrian Grand Prix. It's going to be even better. Short track racing is brilliant, and especially in Grand Prix racing. Think of Shakir.
Yeah, this track definitely has the potential to be an even better race on Silverstone, which is absolutely crazy. Let's hope that will happen for sure. This is going to be a beautiful one because, you know, you've got like 5 corners and then you're back on 3 long DRS zones. It's very difficult to pull away.
And let's hope as well that in the main, as we always see, the sprint race is exciting but doesn't give us an idea of what the race is. The race is usually completely different to the sprint events we have. So I'm hoping that the race is going to be a lot more competitive. As soon as we get the pit stops and the strategies come in, that's when the race will come alive. So I'm all for today's race. It's going to be brilliant.
Yeah, it now says it's dry at 3 p.m. local time, so that's right at the start. And then at 4 p.m. it's raining, and then at 5 p.m. it's dry again.
Race control. Track limits for Vips as well,
Yeah.
and Fittipaldi's on the radio.
I gotta get by him. He's slow.
Fittipaldi says, got to get by him. He's slow, as Vips did get the black and white flag. And Fittipaldi shaking the car. Look, there's the black clouds at turn 1 that are blowing over the circuit. I don't think it's going to hit in time for the Formula 2, but it might just catch the end of it, I suppose. It's visibly darker out there. Track temperature 22.6, air temperature 16.1.
Fittipaldi is just a bit too far. He's gained half a tenth last lap, which is not enough to be able to overtake him. Sure, he really wants to get past him, but he's just a bit too far.
Battle on as they come into turn 3. Again, there is Vesti in P8. Hauger's ahead of him. Awassa 9th. Hughes 10th. Still trying to have the overall battle. And it's very tense at the moment stuff. Very close racing. Very exciting racing as well here in the feature race. Apparently it still says sprint race, but this is the feature. So the timing tower hasn't corrected itself there. But we are in Spielberg, Austria. This, if you're just joining us here on the YouTube channel, this is a very entertaining Formula 2 race. It's different strategies, different battles. Half the field started on wet tyres on a bone dry track. That's how crazy it was as well. And Jack
people
Doohan,
didn't want to take the risk.
sorry, Jack Doohan, I'm being told, has received a 5-second time penalty, and here it is now. So Jack Doohan, 5 seconds for track limits, I presume.
Yeah.
Yeah, track limits. So Doohan with a penalty. He's down in 16th, sadly, anyway. He's dropped back from the start.
Yeah, that couldn't. That had to happen at some point, of course. It's still Austria. We still are going to see many track limit warnings as well. And yeah, so who else had it again? Yeah, there was someone else who also got the track limit warning.
Yeah, Vesti got a 5-second penalty, if I remember correctly. And yes, he did. Yeah, I'm being told in my ears. Vesti got the 5-second penalty as well for track limits, and that's why he's down in the end of this race, as well as Roy Nazani trying to make the move on the inside of Juri Vips. Goes a bit too deep.
Oh.
Vips cuts him back. Nicely done.
Yeah, a bit too deep there for Roy Nissany, and he nearly didn't make the corner. And Vips nearly hit the back of Nissany as well. Nissany now down to turn 4. He's a bit too far.
Down into the Sochas Gold. Again, Vesti Vips just taking it a little bit wide. He's in 12th position at the moment. That long pit stop has really cost Juri Vips as well. That's a big disappointment in my opinion as well, because he was right up there for some great racing. But it's all eyes now to the front as Verschoor leads by 3.8 seconds to Druvula. Roberto Merri, 32 years old, is in third position. I can't believe it. Radio doing.
Gamble things again.
Alright, that was another time. Try getting plus 10. Nah, that's 5 seconds. Oh, where are you, mate? But fortunately, I should be able to drive through then. Like, I don't know. Report it, mate, but we cannot do anything about that. I asked you no more track limits. You went 4 times out. So, get the video and show me that full time. Get the video, please, and show me that full time. You get it and prove it, I'll say okay.
So he doesn't think he's got off the track 4 times. So that could be contested.
Yeah, but I mean, they can't just give a penalty for no reason. I'm sure he really did go off 4 times, as he's also been overtaken now by the Trident of Williams.
Yeah, Doohan is trying to have a go now as we see down to turn 3 on Callum Williams. He said, "This is Jack Doohan. Here we go. This is the video that they wanted. Exit it. Yeah, that's clearly all 4 wheels off the track at turn 10.
Yeah, I suppose that was the 4th time then.
Yeah. So the FOM guys, brilliant there to get that back up on the TV screen before we need to see. So they've given them the 4th time. So that's going to help out. Is it Carling? Yeah. No. Virtuosi. A lot more.
Yeah. It's a lot more difficult to see the track limits when you're inside the car, but yeah, you need to know that he did go off the track there, of course. As Enzo Fittipaldi.
Yeah, here comes Enzo, trying to go around the outside. Sargent takes him a little bit too deep as well. The American and the Brazilian fighting it out together again as they head down towards Sochler's Gold at turn 4. Sargent will defend it, and even with DRS, Fittipaldi just can't get anywhere near him.
Yeah, and these Formula 2 cars is a lot more, you need to be a lot closer for the DRS to, and slipstream to be able to make a move. In Formula 1, if you're like 8/10, you can already make the move with DRS and slipstream, but in this case, it's a lot more difficult. Fittipaldi needs to be much closer, and he only a few laps ago, he already said he wanted to get past him, but he's just struggling a little bit too much to get past him.
So Sargent 4th, Fittipaldi 5th. The gap is 0.6 of a second. If I can get my words out, Cordeal has been down pit lane as well. He's now changed over as well. It's lap 27. We've completed 26 laps as well out of the 40 that were scheduled. SHT has said that Alonso is changing to a new power unit for today's race. I hope it will last till the end of it or it will be a disaster. Looks like it. Oh, and 10-second penalty for Jack Doohan. So that's 15 seconds now. Track limits. So he's done it a 5th time, Synthol, and that's a further 10 seconds to his 5. So in total, 15 seconds worth of penalties. He's now at the back.
Yeah, that's basically his race over, and maybe with a pit stop when he does his, serves his penalty, and then he needs to be a safety car or something. That's the only way that can save him for this race, but otherwise he's going to lose out a lot with that 15-second penalty.
Still 14 laps to go, so there's plenty of time. 21 minutes 44 to go. If we did have a safety car, it pushes beyond that time limit. Frederick Vesti in P8. He's closing down on Dennis Hauger, who is 7th at the moment as well. And this is turning into a very tasty little fight here as well. Doohan just stay on the track limits, says the little owl as well. Yeah, stay on the track limits.
Apparently he's struggling with seeing when he's inside the track limits or not. So that's why apparently, because he didn't know he was going off the track so many times. And now, he said it himself, he didn't know he was going off the track, but he did.
Do it, here he is.
5 times.
You're joking. Honestly, please tell me you're joking. Then I've got track limits at turn 1. Just please import this video. Like, what is going on?
So it was turn 1 this time, the track limits, and that's why he got the 10-second time penalty.
Let's hope we'll see a replay of that too to see how clear it was, and if he actually did go off track. I suppose he did.
Looks like he did, and I presume he did. Yeah. So the stewards giving him a 10-second time penalty. I think we're going to see a replay. Nope, we're going to stay with Frederick Vesti, who is attacking Dennis Hauger down into turn 4 at Sochler's Gold. Can't make the move there. Can't park there today as he goes continuing on.
This race is now trying to slow down a little bit, but it is still the whole order is just mixed up compared to the starting grid.
It's completely changed. Sorry, look at that. 18 positions Mary's made up now into third position. The starting grid, I don't think there is one person in their original position when the lights went out. Not one. They are all
Yeah, it's
changed.
it's insane, isn't it?
And look, the Roberto Merri is the biggest one. Started 21st. He's now third fastest in this race, running third, and he's continued to hold on. He's in that car for Ralph Boschung, who is out injured. It was David Beckman at Silverstone. It's going to be Roberto Merri, and it's insane. I think Merri should stay, although he is a bit old for Formula 2. He's not going to get a seat in Formula 1. He's already had a chance there.
Yeah, well, he qualified 21st, so
Yes.
in that case, he doesn't really have the pace that much. But obviously, with the strategy, has really worked out, and now he's just going to try to make his way till the finish and tries to stay P3. It would be insane to see him on the podium.
I would love it. The Spaniard on the podium, yes, please, as he comes through. Just double checking, yep. Roy Nizani, 31 years old, as well, driving in the Campos alongside Early Caldwell. And we're being told by my producer in my ear, there is rain in the air, and it looks like it could be flowing into the track in 19 minutes. There is currently 18 minutes and 40 left on the clock. So if that wind speed picks up, we could have a wet end to this race.
That's going to be very interesting, and for sure. I just wonder if there's also rain expected for the race, for the Formula 1 race.
Must be rain predicted for the F1 now, if it's blowing in this consistency. 45 minutes before the start of the race, I'm being told, the scheduled rain. And that's it's coming from the meteorologists as well, where they get the information from. So I'll take their weather graphics. If it does rain, I'll be doing dancing outside the commentary box as well for what would be an absolutely fantastic race. Look at that.
Absolutely.
So this actually brings the... Oh, and Vesti, black and white flag for track limits. So this championship battle, Dragovic and Porchia scoring no points would keep them on 154 and 114, but it brings Sargent closer to the fight on 106. So, okay, we'll take that. But
Really interesting one as well, and they're both together as well, Porchia and Dragovic.
Dragovic just got such a lead now in this championship. It's unbelievable. And that was through the double win he had at Catalonia a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
Then he followed it on.
Struggling this weekend.
Yeah, he followed it on there with a victory in Monaco in the feature as well. So he had feature race win in Jeddah, double win and fastest lap in Barcelona, and then he had a victory feature at Monaco, and hasn't won since then. So he hasn't won since feature race Monaco, Dragovic, and he's not going to win today because he's down in 14th position. This is race control, and this is why I got a black and white flag, Frederick Vesti. All four wheels off the track, yeah.
But you don't gain time with it, so, right?
You don't, no. Yeah, you lose time at turn 1 thanks to that sausage curb, so that shouldn't be a track limits warning. But all four wheels off the track as a lock-up from Dennis Hauger. And is that going to give Vesti the opportunity to get through? Sadly not, down into turn 4.
Yeah, Vesti didn't really have a good exit as well in turn 3. As behind him also, is that Iwasa?
Yes. Yeah,
so there's multiple battle again, multiple car battle, but it's really difficult to overtake, as we see now as well.
Looking okay then at the open, as Vesti's 4 tenths behind now, so he's starting to close him down. Race control, Iwasa, track limits warning, and he is P9.
Yeah.
Wow.
We're on board with him now, so let's see if he is going to take turn 9 and turn 10 well as well this time. But yeah, he's got to watch out for track limits as well. He's probably doing this safely. He should be doing this.
Race control.
Who's the next one? Williams.
Black and white flag, and he's down in... Where is Callum Williams? 16th.
Yeah, when we see race control, we know what's going to happen. Who's going to get a track limit black and white flag this time?
Seems to be the way, because everything else, the DRS has already been enabled. So if we see that race control, as you're right there, Synth, it would be that confirmation of a penalty or black and white flag. Sun beginning to shine at turn 3. The track has dried out massively in the past hour. There was still some spray there at the start of the race. Now it's bone dry, but more rain is coming to the circuit. And it's lap 32 of 40. So 8 laps to go after this one, because we count the last lap.
Yeah, could be wet for the Porsche Supercup race after this. Where But I wonder if it. Yeah, I really wonder if it will rain. It says midway through the race some rain expected, but I'm not sure. I don't have the professional weather predictions, of course. But yeah, I wonder it's going to be a really good one, for sure. And I wonder if the track limits will play a role in Formula One as well for a penalty.
I presume so. I hope so, because that would be exciting if we suddenly see like someone like Leclerc or Verstappen getting a warning for it, and one more time, and you get a penalty. This is going to be a great race today. Really great race.
Yeah, I think we'll see quite a lot of overtake in Formula One. If you have DRS, you can already close up so much more than compared to these Formula 2 cars. So I'm sure we'll see a lot more battles there as well.
I've been very critical of drivers coming back into race control. Awasa track limits again. And didn't he already have a black and white flag?
Yeah.
So that should be a penalty then. Yeah, Awasa had one. So that should be a penalty, unless it's a repeat message. Bizarre. I've been very... time penalty.
Oh, there it is.
For Awasa. Yeah, there we go. 5 seconds added there. He's done it again, track limits. So another for track limits, yeah.
Yeah, they just wanted to confuse us again.
Yeah, they put up the wrong graphic, I believe, as well, because it should have been a time penalty. So Awasa started 4th, down to 9th with a 5-second penalty. He will drop down to the 14th, just outside of Drugovich.
Yeah, it's not really good news for him. So let's hope we won't see too many track limit penalties for sure. But let's see. Can he close up? This is just a long DRS thing for the rest of the race. It seems like it's just.
Yeah.
This is what I mean with you can't pull away. I suppose who was the leader of this train? Cordial. No, who was it?
True. Mary's leading. Mary's.
It was after Hauger, was it? Hauger. I suppose Hauger is faster than Vesti, but he just can't pull away because Vesti constantly has the DRS again. So that's why he stays in DRS, and that's why also Iwasa can't overtake more. Iwasa is actually 1.5 now behind Vesti, so he'll be losing out now for sure.
Roberto Merhi is closing in on Johan Jaruvela, which I shouldn't really be surprised about. Roberto Merhi is a very experienced racing driver, but it's impressive that he's closing him down so much. Race control. Fittipaldi track limits, turn 4, we're being told. So that's Sotzler's Gold, he's gone wide.
Oh, what?
How do you go wide there without putting it in the gravel? Very bizarre.
But that would cost you also. Yeah, the track limit. I think they should just change it to when it's clear you don't gain any time from it. Just why give him a warning for it, because there's nothing he could have done.
Can we be fair to Merhi in F1? He was at a back marker team. Oh yes, we can. But Roberto Merhi did make some silly mistakes. Awasa Radio.
We hear from Awasa.
Penalty for track limit, so no more track limit, 5-second penalty. What did I do? Track limit last time. Don't test. No, I had the version after I was warning.
And Callum Williams has just been given a 5-second time penalty as well as it gets darker at the top of the hill. Time penalty again for Frederick Vesti. 5 seconds. So that is 10-second penalty in total now for Vesti. Well, this is ridiculous.
And look how close Merhi is now. We're looking at him now as in the pits.
Yeah, doing. He's serving that 15 seconds.
Oh, yeah. So he's got to hope for a safety car. That's not good. Maybe if there's a safety car now, we can still restart. But
yeah, we've still got time.
That's all we can hope for.
So that's what he's doing. He's bolting on some ultra soft tyres in a hope he might be able to catch up and get to a situation that he can get some high positions up there. Because he was 19th anyway. Does he get out ahead of Vesti? No. Does he get out of Jaruvela and Merhi? No. So it doesn't work out there, unfortunately. He goes a lot down.
Yeah, behind Cordial as well, isn't he?
Oh, yeah. Damn. Dillon's 20th. Time penalty for Liam Lawson, who's running in P6.
Oh.
5 seconds. So Hauger's going to go up. Oh, no, actually, Lawson should just hold it. 5.2.
Well, it's going to be interesting if Hauger can manage to get within those 5 seconds, because he's now 5.2 behind him, and Vesti's right behind him as well. So this could be interesting. Liam Lawson's going to try to keep it outside of 5 seconds. Here is Merhi. He's really close.
Grenwin says at this rate, Vesti will finish last with all these penalties he's getting. True. He'll drop behind Sato by my calculation because it's 30 seconds between Sato and Novalak. So he'll drop down to 18th position or 17th position. But look at Mary. He's closing down Druvula once again. And this is the fight for second now. Can Roberto Meri, at 31 years old, be the oldest driver to stand on the podium in Formula 2?
Misani, he was. I think he was going side by side with Yuri Vips. The gap was 0.05, but not anymore. Yeah, this is such an incredible battle, and it's such a unbelievable battle as well because it's Mary. How is he here battling for second?
He's still falling on there as well. Here we go again. DRS is open for Roberto Meri on the run up the hill towards turn 3 at Remus. Not going to go for a late lunge. He thought about it, but he's visibly close now. Oh, go on, Roberto. Go for a move at Sochless Gold. He gets a perfect exit. That number 15. Can he now have the attack? And down the back straight away. Come on, Roberto. Finish second. I'd have liked to see Roberto Meri take another win in Formula 2. He's had a couple in his career, but for sure, being so far ahead, I've been critical of drivers going back into junior series, especially like in NASCAR with the Xfinity. They swap over positions so much. But in this case, Roberto Meri, he's here helping the team, getting them some points. He's not in contention for a championship. He's just there to get points for the team and to help out Ralph Boschung, who's out of the season at the moment. But I don't agree with it. It should have been another younger driver, but you can't deny that Roberto Meri's getting the points for the team's championship and helping them out massively.
Yeah, definitely. He's doing such a good job. They both did take a track limit warning for sure. Coming out of turn 9, they both went wide. They're really trying to get that warning. Maybe they're doing it purposely so he can get even closer.
Oh, he's off! Meri goes wide, and that'll be a track limits warning.
Yeah, there's another warning. He definitely lost time with that, but he's going to get a warning anyways because I don't know why. Stupid rules.
I know, everyone thinks it as well as they come back into the braking zone. And is that Logan Sargent? Yep, closing in on Roberto Meri as well, 2.2 seconds. So who is that? Jack Doohan? Yeah, it's Jack Doohan right behind Roberto Meri. It's not Logan Sargent.
Yeah, he's right there, around 2.2 seconds behind him. Yeah, Doohan is on the lap down now. And who's the next one? Ruvula. Oh.
Track limits warning for Jaruvula. Meri will get one too, though, so that won't be too much because he was wide
in turn 9.
Yeah. One more, though, for Jaruvula. He'll get a 5-second time penalty, and that'll put Meri into second position for sure. But look at Jack Doohan. Podium yesterday, 20th today, and he is fighting hard on those quick tyres. On the Ultra Softs.
Yeah, but unfortunately a lap down for him then.
2 to go.
Gonna be very interesting final part of this race. Is Meri gonna be close enough to fight him? There's the back markers ahead of him. Maybe Druvula can get a DRS from there. That would help him for sure.
Oh, Druvula, do you see that? Just dart out the way of going wide at turn 1. That was lost him a lot of time. Here comes Roberto Meri to have a go at him. The Spaniard with the DRS pulls to the outside line at turn 3. Remus late on the brakes he goes. Druvula's going to send him wide. Exactly what Roberto Meri wanted. He'll get the cut back. They go side by side. Meri has the inside line as well now. Down into turn 4 and Sochless Gold. Side by side action we go. And Roberto Meri might just not hold second place. He's going for the move. Late on the brakes. And Roberto Meri locks up and takes second position away from Johan Jaruvula. What a fantastic move from Roberto Meri. And Sato with a black and white flag.
Such an incredible job. Roberto Meri up to second. It was Jaruvula who had the DRS on the second straight towards turn 4. And just late braking for Meri. A bit too late because he locked up as well. But he's done such an amazing job. Now he's going to try and pull away from the Ruvula.
He's got a lap to do it as well as a time penalty for Roberto Meri! It's a 5-second time penalty for Roberto Meri for track limits. And I'm sorry, but this is ridiculous. Race Control have embarrassed themselves today with pointless track limits penalties that don't count, and you actually gain time. I'm embarrassed. I really am. But Roberto Meri, you are fantastic. Time penalty. Liam Lawson 10 seconds. So this will put Merry 4th.
Let's hope Deruvla will hold Sargent up. It looks like it for now. He's definitely pulling away, Murray. Already
Yeah.
1.9.
Come on, come on, come on. Get the time with me. Come on. Last lap the call anyway. So he's only got this lap to do it because I believe Richard Verschoor is going to come across. He won the sprint race in Shakir, and that was his only race win this year for Richard Verschoor. Time penalty for car 9, track limits, 10 seconds to come. But Richard Verschoor, with his second win of the year, his first feature win of the year, Richard Verschoor wins the Austrian Formula 2 feature race. Roberto Merry will come home in second place, but the question is, where's he going to finish on the road? Well done, Roberto Merry. He was 3.4. It's not going to be the podium, I don't think.
It's going to be P6, I think.
Oh, but everyone else had penalties. So where's Merry going to finish?
Oh, yeah,
Druvela third, but that was cheating from the stewards there. They've denied Merry the podium. Fastest lap goes to Jack doing a 1:16.536. But we wait for the official classification to adjust themselves. Druvela second, Sargent third, Fittipaldi fourth, Roberto Merry fifth.
Aww.
So Merry fifth, here comes the times. They've all now been...
Oh, for sure.
Verschoor stopped. Coming down to turn 4, ain't got enough fuel.
First.
Hey, mate. Amazing. Well done! Come on! Thanks, guys. Amazing job. I don't think I can bring it home, but never give up, mate. Never give up.
I hope he didn't get a penalty for leaving that car on the track. He's got no fuel left. But Richard Verschoor with a great strategy and a great race win. So here's the classification then. Verschoor takes the victory. Druvela is second, Sargent third, Fittipaldi fourth, Roberto Merry fifth, but finished second on the road. Remember that. Then it would be Hauger 6th, Hughes 7th, Cordwell 8th, Oasa 9th, and Vips the top 10. Nazani is 11th, Lawson 12th, Dragovic 13th, Portier 14th, 15th for Vesti, 16th for Williams, 17th Sato, 18th Novalak, 19th Cordial, 20th Doohan, and Bollock Bass and Armstrong out. Here's Druvela.
Yeah, we got lucky, man. But thank you for the strategy. We were so slow. I tried my best, but I couldn't hold them back for too long.
And, Synthel, if Richard Verschoor has run out of fuel, he is in mighty big trouble.
Yeah, that would be really unfortunate. Out of the Dutch fans, he does win his race. Let's hope it will stay that way. And I wonder what's... Mary didn't even get a black and white flag, did he?
No, straight penalty.
But that shouldn't be it. I hope something can change with that. I really do. Maybe Druvela can get a penalty as well. No, I don't even care anymore. Mary deserves that podium for
Here's
sure.
Sargent.
Oh, doing everything.
Yeah, so Merry got 5 seconds to track limits, so that's P3. Well done, buddy. You earned your money there. Well done.
Are we all good?
Yeah, we're sweet.
Yeah, he definitely did.
I don't like that. That's a sour taste. Grenwood says, tried and nervous now. Little Al says, I remember Merry getting a black and white flag 2 laps before the penalty. So Merry did get a black and white flag.
Oh.
I thought that was for Druvela. But
Yeah, me too.
I'll take the little owl because they can reverse it. What a disappointment. What a severe disappointment that is. As the
Still
field
though,
can feel-
P5. You
Yeah.
can definitely be happy with that race. He did an amazing job. And if he just overtook the Druvela a lap earlier, he set so much pace.
Would have had it. Would have had it. Now, we're going to hear from them as well. I believe Will Buxton will be talking with the top 3 out here on the grid. What an opener today has been. 2 great races across Formula 3 and Formula 2. There's the medical car bringing him in. A bit of a hand wave there from the race winner, Richard Verschoor, in the DBX. As they come through, we'll hear then shortly from the top 3 as soon as Richard Verschoor gets in. Just him to cut into my 3-hour break period that we've got. I was looking forward to having some breakfast and relaxing, watching quick film and then coming to the commentary box and doing Formula One, whilst also keeping an eye on the weather. It's not often I get a break on a Sunday, so I'm taking this nice weekend as it comes, because it should have also been, remember, that of MotoGP this weekend and the Finnish Grand Prix, but that race never looks to happen. And the medical car, once again, finishes in second position. So it finishes in the race to win. Didn't happen a couple of years ago. Richard Verschoor puts the medical car in P1. I like seeing that. That's fun. That's funny. I like that.
Yeah.
Trident, give him a round of applause as well. Medical car in P1 in Parc Fermé. Well, I wonder if it'll have to be weighed now by the stewards.
Wow. What a race this was.
Right, let's listen to the top three as we see the results here. Again, we've gone through them all already, the official results as well. Roberto Meri's penalty promotes Sargent to third as the Spaniard falls to fifth behind Fittipaldi. Dennis Hager secures sixth ahead of Jake Hughes. Caldwell makes it in 2 campuses in the top 8. Awasa and Vips takes the final points as well. Let's hear then, Will Buxton is interviewing the race winner, Richard Verschoor.
Well, Richard, you took the gamble. It wasn't such a gamble. It was inspired, and what a brilliant, dominant race. Congratulations. How does it feel?
Thank you so much. Yeah, we made a gamble 1 minute before we had to put on the tires. I did a call to the team, let's risk it. So they did an amazing job. Yesterday we really had to struggle in the dry, but today they gave me a perfect car, and yeah, we were on rails.
You were on rails, and to do it this morning as well in front of 100,000, I'm sure pretty much all Dutch fans around here, a few Austrians, but mostly Dutch fans in front of the Orange Army here. How good does that feel to take such a dominant win in front of so many of your countrymen?
It feels amazing here, but also that side, it's completely orange. So I hope Max wins as well this afternoon.
I'm sure he does as well. A dominant race, though. I mean, you started off the season so well. To bring it back now, can you get things kick-started from this point on?
Well, definitely. We have a lot of races to go. If the car is as hooked up as it was today, then I'm sure we'll have some more wins this season.
A mesmerizing drive. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Well, congratulations to young William Buxton. Did so well yesterday. We let him come back and interview the winner today.
Okay.
Richard Verschoor
Here's the
taking
cool-down
a
room then.
superb win. Let's listen to these two debriefing.
In the cool-down room.
Lucky that there was a safety car. Those would be way worse for you. You only did 2 laps in the end. If you had to do 6, then it was bad. Where did you guys finish? Out. And Porsche? Out. Nice. Yeah, that was me and Marcus. You got Marcus? Yeah. Like I was off and he rejoined like on the track instead of just staying off. Did you get by Dennis as well? Oh, another bad stop for this. What a mess.
My stop was phenomenal. That's
My stop was good as well.
so scary coming out of the Atlanta. It was a bit wet.
Yeah.
Yeah. Congrats. He steered in the
What happened? You stopped? Or?
I think maybe hydraulic issue. I'm not so sure. I hope it's nothing else.
You hope it's not fuel.
Yes, sir.
You didn't have a warning.
You have a warning issue.
It's going to be this month.
Well, that was the top 3 in the cool-down room there as well. Nice to hear from them as well. We will hear the Dutch national anthem shortly as well for Richard Verschoor. And not bad at all, is it then, to wake up and hear the Netherlands national anthem, Synthel, as well for
Absolutely.
you. That's the second time this year it's happened in a Formula 2 race for you.
Yep, and I definitely don't mind hearing that at all. Yeah, and Drew was saying what we said, right?
Yeah.
That you hope not fuel as well.
Is that?
I think Verschoor said hydraulic issue or something.
I recognise that driver. Is that Andre Lotterer? It is! It is Andre Lotterer, who will be presenting one of the trophies. alongside some Red Bull Juniors, I believe, as well, out there on the circuit. Well, in Formula 3, we had David Coulthard, Mark Webber, and Martin Brundle, and I don't know who we got today. Anyway, the Dutch national anthem is now. What a fantastic race we've had here in Formula 2. And now the trophies presented onto the podium as well by fellow Red Bull drivers and Red Bull sponsored athletes as well. It's Richard Verschoor who takes his first sprint race and his first feature race wins in Formula 2 this season. Shakir season opener. He won the first race, now he's on the latest race as well. Happened again in Formula 3 this morning. Second place for Johan Deruvela. It should have been Roberto Merri, but Logan Sargent puts it on the podium as well in third position. And now, as ever, it's champagne time! Away we go then. It's 11:14 over in Austria. Time for a drink. Early morning. Little Owl Synthol says, I remember when the medical car took Dan Tincton to the win, and Dan Tincton was later disqualified from that race for exactly the same reason of not having enough fuel. So tune into the Grand Prix review straight after the F1 race at 4 o'clock British Summer Time for all of the action and reports on Formula 2 in case we do have penalties to talk to you about as well. What do you make of this F2 race then, Synth? I thought that was the best of the lot we've had this weekend.
Yeah, definitely. It was a really interesting one. And somehow it all went right in the first laps because it was very close to some contact, some incredible battles because of the different strategies and maybe some soft tires backing the wets up or something, because in the opening stages, it was such an incredible strategic race and I loved it really much. And yeah, this for sure who wins out, and Trident, who did a very good job here.
So we leave Spielberg, Austria, and we go to Le Castellet in Port-Ricard, France. Next time out, in 2 weeks' time, the French Grand Prix will be supported by Formula 2 and W Series as well. But thanks to you, Synthol, for your company this weekend. We'll see you in France as well, which is the next race for F1 as well. We'll see you in a few weeks' time. And for you all at home, next up, it's the Formula 1 race on air, 12:45 British Summer Time. An hour and 15-minute build-up to proceedings as well. Join us for all of the action. My thanks to you at home. My thanks to you, Synthol. We'll see you next time. Richard Verschoor wins the feature. And what a race it was. See you later. Bye for now.